David Tour Guide. Mondstadt Volume. David Geography Magazine Special Edition. Alice's Journey in Mondstadt. Dadopa Gorge. The population of the three Helical clans located on this hill is not very large. What if we built a rotating spherical cage in the middle of it and put all the Helicals inside? Maybe that way we could power Mondstadt for at least 5 years. And imagine if we could grind up old or too weak Helicals into food and feed it to other Helicals. Maybe we could build a power generator that could even power a large factory like the one in Snezen. I think it's doable. When I told Miss Lisa my idea, she stared at me for a long time, then slowly and elegantly changed the topic. Starsnitch Cliff. I think the animal Archon is truly a god with too much freedom. If it were me, I wouldn't let my territory become such a mess with such undulating terrain. With a few well-placed explosives, even a hill like Starsnitch Cliff could be reduced to dust in seconds. With flatter terrain, Mondstadt would surely look much neater and more organized. Unfortunately, the cavalry captain flatly rejected my proposal. He even forbade me from approaching Starsnitch Cliff. Windrise. This is the only relatively flat spot in Mondstadt, with a massive oak tree standing in the center. Legend has it that this is where Vanessa ascended to Celestia, but after all this searching, I'm pretty sure there's no catapult here. I even experimented with some of the Helicals I caught, but the furthest I could throw them from here was to the hunter's house in Springvale, which was disappointing. Falcon Coast. My failed experiment caused a bit of a commotion in Springvale, and Miss Jean of the Knights of Favonius sent someone to keep an eye on me. So now I can only walk around Falcon Coast. This place is so boring. There are only eagles flying in the sky and animal slimes puffing out their cheeks. So boring, there's nothing I can do. But on the other hand, the kids were having a blast playing with the Outrider lady who was watching over me. Whispering Woods. Another forest in Mondstadt. This Outrider named Ember seems quite familiar with the place. She carries an explosive doll with her everywhere, and it really caught my attention. With enough modifications, I could increase its explosive power to the point of burning this forest to the ground, or even destroying the Rocky Mountains here. I think my suggestion scared her a little, but his exploding toy doll, I never thought of it before. Next time, I will try to make it too. Breakfrown Canyon. I finally exterminated the stalkers of the Knights of Favonius. The valley I discovered on the northeastern shore of Cider Lake was still guarded by an ancient mechanism, but the soldiers responsible for guarding the path for King Gales were nowhere to be found. All that remained were the foolish Helicals and the silent mechanism guards. My experiment to control the Ruin Guardian with the Helical also failed. The Ruin Guardian was shattered, and of the helical tide to it was also in disarray. The ruins were also partially destroyed. Storm Terror's Lair. Bright Crown Canyon leads to the ruins of an ancient city built by the cruel king of the Gales, Decarabian. The city was built in a circular shape. It seemed as if every city dweller had been assigned to an inner and outer ring. Right in the center of the city stood a tall tower where the king of Gales resided. The kingdom that was previously occupied by a cruel king and tried to control everyone's lives now only remains insignificant ruins. I blew up some corridors so people could climb the buildings more easily. It seems to have worked quite well, and it also makes the ruins look even more ancient. Thank you everyone for listening.